The module that we're going to go through the upgrade process for is the Trails module that we created in our Drupal 7 Development Core Concepts collection. We're going to work with an earlier version of the module just so we have a limited number of APIs and pieces that we're working with during the upgrade process. This will make it manageable. So what I've done is I've enabled the Trails module on a Drupal 7 site. And let's take a quick tour of what the module does so we know how to know whether it's working completely in Drupal 8. Now the basic thing that this module does is it enables a block that shows the last pages that have been visited by any user. In future versions of this module, we store that data in the database, and we show unique information about the user that's creating the trail. But in this one, it's just one trail block that shows visited pages regardless of user. So the first thing we need to do is enable the block, and we can do that by going to Structure and Blocks. And then we'll scroll down, and History is the name of the block that we want to enable. So we'll select a region for it. Let's go ahead and select Sidebar first, and click Save Blocks. Now let's exit out of the overlay. And over here on the left-hand side, we have the set of pages that have been visited. If we refresh this page, you'll see Home show up again, and we can go to Add New Content. And if we exit out of that and refresh, you'll see Add Content here. So we can navigate to any pages and see them listed in this history block. Now we can configure this block to show a certain number of results. So if we go to the cogwheel and click Configure Block, we can select the number of items to show. And this is a special setting that we've enabled through our module. So I'm going to set it to 3 and then click Save Block. And now you can only see 3 items in this history block. Now there's one other thing we can do with this module. If we go back to that configuration here, the number of items to show listed here ranges from 1 up to 50. But we can change the maximum number to display here inside of our module's configuration page. So let's go to that. If we go to Modules, and then we search for Trails, and then here we go to Configure, we can set the maximum number of items to display. And so we can set this to, say, 22. And we'll save the configuration. And now if we exit out of this and configure our block, and we look at the number of items that display here, you see they only go up to 22. Okay, so that is the full range of what this module does from the front end. It gives us a block that we can enable. It allows us to configure the number of items to show, and it also allows us to configure the maximum number to show in this input.